Oklahoma is facing a budget crisis with deep cuts looming for education, health care, and public safety. As legislative leaders struggle to reach agreement on a spending plan with too few dollars available, the state's chief executive is offering a list of suggestions that she claims could help to fill the $1.3 billion hole in next year's budget.
Governor Mary Fallin held a news conference to announce a set of 5 concepts that she says could avert major spending cuts and put Oklahoma on a sound financial footing. Fallin says the proposals are among several ideas she hopes lawmakers will consider to avoid disastrous cuts that will affect hundreds of thousands of Oklahomans.
Certainly this is a very difficult year, and we're having to make a lot of tough decisions. And I challenge the legislature and ask them to work with me to roll up their sleeves, do the hard work, get into the details of the state budget.
Already this fiscal year, budget cuts of 7% threaten to cripple Oklahoma's healthcare system and have forced many school districts to begin making plans to lay off employees and find other ways to operate with fewer dollars.
We don't want to go to 4-day school weeks. We don't want to have nursing homes closed. We don't want to have rural hospitals closed.
Among the governor's proposals are ideas she's floated before, including eliminating some sales tax exemptions, ending appropriations for some state agencies, and capping apportionments made to special projects before the legislature has a chance to appropriate them. The governor is also suggesting the state use more than $500 million in bond money for transportation projects, freeing that money for other uses. Senate Appropriations Chair Clark Jolly says that idea is likely to face an uphill battle in the Senate.
Our biggest concern would be over-reliance on bond debt to basically get us through the year. I think having a modest amount of bond indebtedness is probably going to be something that we need to consider. But again, it's going to be one of our last options, I think.
Senate President Pro Tem Brian Bingman is even more leery of the idea of borrowing money to fix the state's budget hole.
That's one of the things that we want to emphasize moving forward is, be careful about, we understand the good use of bonds, but let's be careful and don't overextend ourselves and create a big hole. But you come back next year and if the revenues aren't pretty, then you've got to sit down and start off from day one with a hole.
Another of the governor's ideas involves tapping agency revolving funds. She projects an automated revolving fund reconciliation would raise $125 million. Jolly isn't so sure.
We want to make sure that's done right. I don't know that you can count on $125 million a year in automatic revolving fund reconciliation. I don't know that you can count on that much money.
The governor says her proposals, taken together, would free up nearly $1.3 billion, allowing for increases for the State Department of Education, the State Health Department, the Oklahoma Health Care Authority, the Department of Human Services, and the Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
I think that's very challenging, and again, those are some ideas that the governor threw out that may not be too achievable.
While her proposals are labeled as Executive Budget 2.0, Fallin says they're really just a working draft.
I have given them a list of ideas. They have their own ideas, and we are still currently meeting on these various things. Some of them they'll like, some of them they won't like.